Chapter 204. Human City. On top of a sand dune, Kang Chon and Xiao Jin looked around in bewilderment, surveying their surroundings, their hearts filled with doubt. This was the spirit sealing space. After stepping into the teleportation array, Kang Chon felt a heavenly rotation, and by the time he recovered, he had already appeared in the middle of this boundless desert. The environment here seemed like the test space that he had experienced in the demon locking tower back then, both of which were an endless desert. Only the environment here was even harsher, with raging sandstorms everywhere. And if one wasn't careful, one would be caught up in it. And even if one didn't die, one would be lost. What a marvelous space. Where exactly is the spirit sealing space? How could there be such a marvelous place? Suddenly, a divine light flickered in Kang Chon's eyes, his face full of astonishment. Just a moment ago, he felt that the Kang Chon hegemony blood in his body was unexpectedly no longer able to absorb the outside world's aura. Moreover, it was as if a seal had been placed on the true essence within his body, and he was no longer able to use half of it. This meant that since this moment, Kang Chon's heaven escapement hand, heaven-breaking, star-absorbing grand technique, and even his intentions could not be used. His strongest power at this moment could only be exerting the overlord fist with his powerful, physical body. What a marvelous place. Even though he had already known about the marvelousness of the spirit sealing space, when he truly felt it, Kang Chon still couldn't help but reveal his surprise. Little Gold on the side was also filled with shock and said in confusion, "Brother, this place is really strange. My demonic pills are sealed." Kang Chon sniffed and told Xiao Jin about the spirit sealing space, and instantly, Xiao Jin's face was dazed. "Brother, where are we going now?" Little Gold asked. This place was filled with endless deserts, with terrifying sandstorms raging through at any time. Stopping here was extremely dangerous. A mysterious smile appeared in Kang Chon's eyes as he heard this. His divine thoughts probed into a jade slip and then a reverse heavenly cauldron, and immediately a clear map appeared in his mind. Kang Chon then looked at his surroundings and pointed to the left front, saying, "Let's go this way." Saying that, he took large strides forward. Xiao Jin also hurriedly followed. He only cared about where Kang Chon was going. As for where Kang Chon was going, he didn't care at all. In this place where they couldn't use their true essence, the two of them could only rely on their feet and walk on foot, which allowed them to try out the life of a mortal once more. Luckily, I have third senior brother's map. Otherwise, in this endless desert, if I want to find the city, then I can only rely on luck, Kang Chon secretly said in his heart. From the information shown above the map, at this moment, they were very close to the first city in the spirit sealing space. After about 10 days of walking, Kang Chon finally saw some silhouettes on the road. But these people didn't pay any attention to him at all. They just glanced at him and continued on their way. Kang Chon wasn't surprised by this. The law enforcement elder had told him about it when he arrived. The teleportation array to the spirit sealing space was not the only one that the Heavenly Dao sect had. Other sects on the Flood continent also had them, and even some overseas cultivation sects had them as well. Some of the higher echelons of these sects would often send some disciples with superb qualifications to the spirit sealing space to try out. Therefore, in the spirit sealing space, there were many strong body refiners like Kang Chon. After another 10 days or so, Kang Chon encountered more and more silhouettes along the way, and among them, there was no lack of some ferocious demonic Dao powerhouses, staring at him with killing intent in their eyes. There were also some strong demonic beasts with shockingly large bodies. Ow! The demonic beasts hissed, powerful sound waves spreading through the air, and between the boiling blood chi, the rolling thunderous sound was like 10,000 horses galloping, and the entire earth trembled. Kang Chon was very surprised as he saw a wave of chaotic torrents rushing in from the desert behind him. It was a powerful demonic beast. Each one's body was extremely large, resembling a mountain peak, giving people a shocking visual sense. These demonic beasts were strangely shaped and had colorful scales on their bodies. Kang Qian only knew some of them. The others were unheard of. Obviously, they were some very rare demonic beasts. But no matter which demonic beast it was, its body exuded a powerful aura. It was definitely a strong person, the peak of the 9th level of the Jiden stage. Kang Qian and Xiaojin slowed down their speed as they kept an eye out for the strong people. They met on the way, and as they got closer and closer to the first city, there were more and more strong people arriving along the way. After a few more days, Kang Qian saw a strong demonic Taoist riding a powerful demonic beast past in the dust. And there was also a bald monk with a loud Buddhist voice floating away. These are the trialists who came to the spirit sealing space. It's not just devil cultivators and demon cultivators, even some sects of the righteous path have sent their experts here. Kang Qian was very surprised. There were too many trialists that he had seen along the way, and every single one of them was incomparably powerful. Although their true essence was sealed just like him, the aura that flowed out from their bodies was still incomparably powerful. Kang Qian knew that these people were all body refiners with powerful physical bodies, and even if they were unable to use their true essence, their strength was still a peak existence in the Jiden stage. "Get the hell out of my way." Suddenly, a bellowing cry rang out. The earth trembled at the back, and 5 huge demonic beasts rushed in. Kang Qian looked curiously and realized that these were 5 huge tortoises, each of them exuding an unparalleled aura, and their powerful strength caused all the surrounding trialists to move aside one by one. These 5 turtles were very powerful, plus the 5 joining forces. It was even more scary. No one dared to mess with such a combination. One by one, they all dodged away, unwilling to incur trouble. Kang Qian was also too lazy to invite trouble at this time. Seeing the 5 arrogant tortoises rushing over, he flashed aside like the others. Seeing the crowd give way, the 5-headed tortoise laughed maniacally and ran away. Watching the crowd gnash their teeth, which one of those who could come here was not a genius disciple of the sect? Naturally, they all had their own arrogance. It was just that the 5-headed turtle was too powerful, making everyone extremely fearful. As the 5 huge tortoises arrogantly went, the silhouettes encountered along the way became more and more. Each one of them was a cultivator with a powerful physical body, and amongst the same level, it was hard to find an opponent. Kang Qian's eyes were glowing with a refined light. Looking at the passing powerhouses, his heart was filled with wariness. This was a battlefield for alternative geniuses, where every cultivator could only survive by virtue of their physical body. There was no other way. The road grew shorter, the more people there were. As the sun set, a majestic ancient city towered over the desert, and even if the surrounding sandstorms raged on and on, they were unable to shake this ancient city that had existed for an unknown number of years. Kang Qian looked at this ancient city in front of him with great surprise. A strange light appeared in his eyes. Was this the first city within the spirit sealing space? The majestic ancient city was like a huge demonic beast. The thick gates of the city, like an open bloody mouth, were devouring the arriving crowd. This ancient city was so huge that Kang Qian had simply never seen it before, and from the city walls carved with traces of age, he felt a pallor and atmosphere like a flood from the ancient past. Everyone stopped in front of the ancient city and looked at the majestic city far away in astonishment. Everyone's eyes flickered with various expressions of surprise and shock. This is the city of man, the first city in the spirit sealing space. A black-robed powerhouse murmured as his eyes flickered. The ancient city covered an extremely wide area, with its walls resembling a continuous mountain range, and the tall city buildings were like a towering mountain peak. Inside the city, there were even many tall buildings that could be seen from afar. At this moment, the light of the setting sun sprinkled down, like a light golden waterfall, making the entire ancient city look even more colorful. All around, demonic aura tumbled, devilish aura swirled, and not far away, there was even a deafening roar of Buddhist sounds. In front of the city gate, a head of powerful demonic beasts sitting in all directions, which is the 5 giant tortoises, are the most palpitating. They occupy the largest piece of space, vaguely exudes an aura of only our supremacy. In addition, there is also the devil strong proudly towering, although they cannot use the true essence. But the body of the devil still cannot help but automatically emanate out, forming a black magic cloud shrouded in the sky. Not far away, a burst of loud Buddhist sounds swept out, bringing in a peaceful aura, resisting the invasion of demonic and devilish chi around them. Kang Chan and Xiaojin similarly stood on top of a sand dune, indifferently looking at everything in front of them, waiting for the gates of the ancient city to open. "Brother, there are so many people here." Little Gold surveyed the surroundings, looking very curious. Kang Chan's expression was grave. None of the people here were weak. Every single one of them were geniuses who could fight over the levels. Obviously, these trialists from different places were all top body refining geniuses in their respective sects. This time, unlike the Heaven's Path sect's disciple acceptance ceremony, in the Heaven's Path demon ceiling ranking, Kang Chan was only facing geniuses under the Heaven's Path sect's domain. Now, he was facing the body-refining geniuses of the entire Flood continent. Whether it was quantity or quality, this was incomparable. Kang Chan's complexion was serious, his eyes flickered with refined light. And his eyes, as stern as a blade, carefully scanned each and every one of the surrounding powerhouses. Undoubtedly, amongst the demonic beasts camp, those 5 huge tortoises attracted the most attention. Each of them was incomparably powerful, and when the 5 joined forces, they were even more disdainful. Of course, not everyone was afraid of these 5 giant tortoises. Not far away, there was a blood-colored figure standing. His eyes were cold and stern. His body exuded a palpitatingly powerful killing aura, and many people were unwilling to get close to him, making the area around him empty. Kang Chan's eyes shrunk. This was a powerful devil cultivator. Although he didn't make a move, he had already sensed this person's power. Just from the palpitating murderous aura, it was enough to make a person scorn. As if sensing Kang Chan's eyes, this blood-colored figure's eyes moved and glanced at Kang Chan. At that instant, a sharp, blood-colored blade came. Boom. Kang Chan let out a cold snort as he probed out with one hand, directly crushing this blood-colored blade aura to pieces. The surrounding crowd that saw this scene coincidentally revealed a look of surprise as they all looked at Kang Chan with some surprise. Not far away, that blood-colored figure's eyes flickered as he glanced at Kang Chan and ultimately did not strike again. Stinking bald donkey. You have an end. Quickly shut up for me. At this moment, an angry roar rang out from amongst the demonic beasts' camp, and the crowd couldn't help but look over, including Kang Chan, only to see, amongst the countless demonic beasts, a huge black, armored bull-headed demonic beast leapt up high, and one of his thick iron hooves ruthlessly stepped towards the Buddhist cultivator who was shrouded by a patch of Buddhist light. This bull was extremely angry. He couldn't stand the Buddhist cultivator's vastness of Buddhist sound, and eventually couldn't help but strike, displaying such a powerful scene. The crowd was surprised. It was undeniable that the demonic beasts had a great advantage in the spirit sealing space. After all, the demonic beasts' physical bodies were generally powerful. They were uniquely endowed with a strong physical body without even having to cultivate. In this regard, amongst human cultivators, only some special bloodline possessors could compete with demonic beasts. This bull-headed demonic beast was very powerful. He had a shining black armor covering the entire mountain-sized body. So fully armed, even if he used a sword to slash, he could not be hurt. However, the Buddhist cultivator who was attacked by him was very calm, only to see that he slowly stood up. His soft gaze looked towards the bull-headed demonic beast that descended from the sky. His hands joined together and his lips gently moved.